Why don't you come gather round for a moment and let me tell you a little story? It's a really special one, all about a magical friendship. And it shows us just how powerful a little bit of kindness can be. Okay, let's begin. So, our story starts deep, deep inside a warm, sunny forest. Can you just picture it? The air is filled with the soft sound of birds singing and bees buzzing around. And right there, in the very heart of it all, stood this incredible tree. It was so tall and proud, and its branches reached out like big open arms, just covered in the most delicious, juicy fruits you could ever imagine. And every single morning, just as the sun started to warm up the day, children from a little village nearby would come running into the forest. And, they weren't there to play games or chase butterflies. Oh no. They had their eyes on one thing and one thing only, all of that amazing fruit hanging from the tree's branches. But here's the thing. This wasn't just any old tree. This tree could talk. And every day, it would greet the children in this really warm, gentle voice. It was always so happy to share its fruit. All it asked was for them to be a little careful in return. The thing is, the children were just so excited. They didn't really hear the kindness in the tree's voice. They were just thinking about that sweet, yummy fruit. So they'd call back without really thinking, seeing the tree less like a friend and more like a giant fruit basket. And just like that, they'd snatch up all the fruit they could carry, and then, poof, they were gone, running back to their village, their laughter just fading away in the trees. They never stayed to chat, never even said a simple thank you. And after they left, the big tree would let out a long sigh, its leaves rustling with a kind of quiet sadness. And this went on for a long, long time. The children took, and the tree gave. But then one day, the beautiful blue sky turned a dark, angry gray. A huge storm came crashing through the forest. The wind howled, and the rain came down so hard. And everything was about to change. And even as its own branches were being bent and tossed around by the wind, the tree's very first thought, it wasn't for itself. It actually whispered into the storm, worried about those children. Even after everything, it still thought of them as its friends. Well, the storm finally passed. The sun came out, and the children came back, just like they always did. But this time, they stopped right in their tracks. The beautiful, strong tree they knew it was gone. What they saw was heartbreaking. Its branches were broken, twisted, and almost all of its wonderful fruit had been torn away by the storm. When the children asked if it would grow more fruit soon, the tree's voice sounded so different. It was weak and so tired, and you could hear the hurt in it. For the first time ever, the tree told them how it really felt. It was just exhausted from always giving and never getting even a single kind word or a little bit of care back. And right then, in that moment, seeing the broken branches and hearing that sad, tired voice, it was like a light went on for the children. They finally, truly understood. Their hearts felt so heavy. They realized the tree wasn't just a thing, it was a friend who needed kindness and care, just like they did. And you know what? From that day on, something really amazing started to happen. The children didn't come for the fruit anymore. No, they came to be a friend. Their whole reason for visiting the forest, it changed completely. They started a brand new routine, one that was all about kindness. They would bring buckets of cool water for its roots when it was thirsty. They'd sit together in its shade and sing songs. And maybe the most important part, they would actually talk with the tree every single morning, sharing their stories and just being together. And with all of this love and care, the tree started to heal. You could see new leaves begin to sprout. Its voice came back, and it was stronger and happier than ever. It told the children that their kindness was like a special kind of magic, that it made it feel stronger than even the warm sunlight could. Their friendship was making it healthy again. The children felt the change too. Their voices weren't demanding anymore. Now they were filled with so much joy. They had found a kind of happiness that was so much bigger and lasted so much longer than just eating a piece of fruit. They had learned what friendship really tastes like, and it was the sweetest thing of all. So what really happened here? Well, they went from just a one-way street of taking to a true friendship. And a friendship is all about caring for each other, right? It's a real connection. Their bond was now about what they could share together, like stories and songs and kindness, not just about what one of them had. So, this lovely little story really leaves us with some pretty important ideas to think about. First, it reminds us to always try to be kind and thankful. It also shows us that true friendship is so much more valuable than anything we can get. And finally, that a little bit of care really does help everything and everyone grow. And that's just a simple, beautiful way to remember to look for the life and the feeling in the world all around us. Because really, whether we're talking about a person or an animal or even a magical talking tree in a forest, kindness is the magic that truly helps everything grow.